been pounding water like all day and I'm still thirsty.
Hold on, you've had water this whole time?
Yeah, we're in the desert.
Where did you get it?
Took it from you guys.
Anthony, Dane has literally died of dehydration back there while you've been enjoying your water.
Yikes.
Come on, let's go help him. Come on, Dane. Come on, buddy. Oh, he doesn't look so good. We're gonna have to splash some water on his face.
All right.
Where'd
you get water from?
Anthony's been holding out on us.
Listen, Dane, I think you're being like super dramatic right now and we got places to be, so come on, grab your hand, let's go.
Good news is we got some water.
Get him up, get him up. Get him up.
Come on, bud.
So Levi, I don't know if you know this, but 85% of all sandboxes in the world get their sand from this desert right here.
Really?
Playgrounds, schools, things such as that.
What about beaches? Do they also get their sand?
Yeah, I think that's where, yeah, probably a lot of beaches and whatnot. There's just so much of it, you know what I mean?
Well, you gotta use sand to make like concrete and bricks and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you even know this stuff?
Ah! How the hell are we supposed to find a coin in the middle of the freaking desert?
Has anybody checked maybe the other side of that coin for a better clue or anything?
It has GPS coordinates?
It has GPS coordinates?
It has GPS coordinates!
Oh, thank God.
Well, what's it say?
42 north, negative 115 west. Well,
This way. Okay. So, it's over here. We're supposed to be close now.
huh.
Okay, it's supposed to be somewhere around here.
Does anybody have a shovel? Because I left mine back there. Oh, what are you doing?
Oh,
Or something.
that is incredible.
What is?
Okay.
Sure are a lot of roots.
Whoa. I think this is it.
Sand.
Ooh.
Coin.
What is it?
Looks like a lake.
We'll flip it over. Maybe there's GPS coordinates on the back.
Uh-huh.
Bingo. Let's go!
Where will our brave explorers venture off to next? Only the coin knows.
We know too.
Trouble, stay away from my door. Trouble, stay away from my door.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I still have a bunch of sand in my throat
Right.
from being there in the dunes.
Oh.
It was amazing.
It's amazing.
The production quality is out of control. This year.
It's just insane. So good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is day 3 of TRCMA. And of course, we couldn't keep this party going without our friends from Pepsi.
Right.
Keeping us energized,
Yep.
keeping us refreshed, keeping us ready to rock and roll at all times here. So, big thanks to Pepsi for providing all our drinks for TRCMA. Now, today is a very special day. Not only do we have our friends from Colourlock here, we've got our friends from Gtechnic Marine. We do a nice little interview with The Last Detail. And our final bit is our folks from Road FS. So super excited to have all those guys here in the house to be able to do and talk and share all this information with you guys. But there is one little programming change, Dane, that we do have to change for this afternoon that fortunately KXK isn't going to be here with us. So apologies. However, we've got the housekeeping and the other stuff that we have to talk about. So Dane, do you want to?
Yeah, so I just want to address right off the bat, this is TRCMA. If you're not familiar with it and you're joining in and you're like, what the heck is this? It says day 3. I didn't know there was a day 1 or 2. That's okay. All you got to do is go back and watch those, but not right now because we're live.
Yeah.
So don't worry, you can go back and watch them anytime you want. There's a whole playlist, whole deal, and one from a couple years ago as well. So we're going to turn this into a regular thing. But anyway, we're so glad you're joining us, and it's an industry trade show done live stream style. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope you make sure to tune in to future installations of this because it's going to be happening all week.
Yeah.
Yep. We have Thursday and Friday yet to come.
2 more days left.
Yeah. So we have morning block, which is happening right now, and then the afternoon block, which will happen starting at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
There you go. Anthony, housekeeping.
Thought you'd never ask. This is what I do best, right? You guys know that. I love housekeeping, a little cleaning, a little bit of sweeping, right? I say that every single time just because I enjoy it so much, right? So this week is not only packed full of content like we've been going over, and it's been getting better and better, right? It's like each day is like ramping up, right? Towards something special. I don't know what that could possibly be. I don't know if there's any clues outside of that, but
there are little clues.
There are little clues, of course, right?
Being dropped.
But you happen to have a clue right there in your hand, and what is that, Levi?
This is our coin for today. Day 3's coin.
Flip it over, Dave.
The,
I was like, yeah.
is the Rag Company coin.
So what are these coins? They are collectible, commemorative coins.
Yeah.
But
right?
why?
That's a great question. So what we're doing is we're working with some of our basically brand partners, right, to help. It's a donation coin, essentially, to where all the proceeds from these coins go to a charity of that brand's choice.
Correct.
Right? But since today is our brand, it's us. Levi, where is this money going?
I want to talk about that, but I want you to tell us what else is going on today. What else do we have?
Okay. We'll see.
That's big because they want to buy a coin. It's going to go to a good cause. I'll tell you about the cause in a minute.
Okay. You're saving the best for last. I got you. No worries. So what are we doing today? We're doing 20% off. 20% off Gtechnic Marine.
Yeah.
We're doing 20% off Colourlock.
Yes.
We're doing 20% off The Last Detail. We're doing 20% off Rupes pads, accessories, things like that. They're compounds.
Yes.
We're doing 20% off anything else. I think I covered everything. Almost everything.
Well, we got
and
Buff-Bright,
KXK. And
Detailer's
KXK.
Pack, Detailer's Helper, Buff-Bright, and KXK. 20% off all the way across today only.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
Check the site for specifics.
Now, so yesterday was a pretty cool day, right? Because what we did is every single order, while supplies last, every single order received a 250 ml bottle of a Gtechnic product of our packing team's choice, right? It was kind of a gamble, right? You got to see what you get, right?
Got to flip a coin.
We know that there's people out there that aren't big risk takers, right? They want something that's maybe a little bit more for sure, right? They want to know what they're going to be able to get.
Correct.
So,
what are they getting today?
thanks to our friends over at Rupes USA, right? And in favor of being 75 years old, right? Did you know Rupes is that old?
I didn't.
Okay.
They look young.
They do.
They look good for 75.
Dylan looks pretty good. Dylan and Jason both look pretty good for 75. So with every order over $75, this is seriously huge, you're going to get a free DA polishing ultrafine kit, right? Which is going to come with Uno Pure. It's going to come with a microfiber towel. It's going to come with 2 ultra-fine polishing pads in here as well. So that, dude, that's
a good deal.
That's pretty.
So every order
amazing.
over 75 gets one of those.
Have you used have you used Uno One Pure? Have you used Uno Pure?
I have. It's delightful.
It is delightful.
It's
it
fun
smells
to use.
good. It's fun to use. It has a great wipe off, great working time as well. Keeps the heat down and those final glossing steps, right? To really pull out a lot of gloss. So again, every order over $75, you're going to get a free kit, right?
Yep.
But you're going to get 20% off a lot of the brands that are going to be here today, right?
That's right.
Which is going to be really exciting
So
as well.
make sure you take advantage of that. While you're there, pick up one of the new Rag Company Challenge coins because today, all the proceeds for the coins are going to our friends at the JDRF, which is Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And that one is actually very close to my heart because my son, August, has diabetes. Now, one of the great things about the JDRF is for every new family, that was pictures of Augie when he was first diagnosed in the hospital, it's a scary time for families. And one of the biggest things that the JDRF does is they provide a backpack for every new family when a child is diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. and they come in and they bring a teddy bear, they bring a number of books that are children's books but are designed to teach you about diabetes so you can read to your kids, learn, and it provides a little bit of comfort, especially for those families. But then on top of that, they provide a ton of education. So those proceeds help not only pay for these bags because they go all over the world, but these backpacks and Rufus the bear, as his name is in each one of those packs along with the books. But then on top of that, the JDRF donates the most money to individual laboratories for the advancement of figuring out a cure for type 1 diabetes.
fantastic.
So the pump, the CGM that he has, his constant glucose monitor, all of that came from funds to help research and development, all that kind of stuff. And JDRF was one of the biggest brands to be able
So
to, biggest
if you-
charities to help along with that.
If you were to buy a coin, say, you would be contributing directly to that. Not
Directly
just
to
a
the
small percentage, but 100% of
Yep.
what you pay for the coin goes
There
to
we go. All right, we got a show to run.
Yeah.
We do have a show to run.
Let's get this party going.
Who's starting us off?
Dane, why don't you read the schedule real quick for us?
Yeah.
And then we'll get this party started.
All right, let's get going. So, first up, we got Colourlock, followed by Gtechnic Marine, then The Last Detail, and Road FS. That's going to round out our morning, folks.
Oh, I get to read the afternoon. Buff Bright, Detailer's Helper, KXK Dynamics, and Rupes. So, ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for this afternoon. It's going to be a good time. All right, and we're here in the White Room, and I've got Michael Monks there. Mark's in here. Sorry, I don't know why I said that wrong. But Michael from Colourlock, thank you, brother, for being here. Very exciting.
Appreciate it.
We got a lot to do. Why don't we move over on this side? That way we can see the camera here. We're not getting stuck under all this. So, Michael, tell us a little bit about Colourlock. I know the folks at home know a lot. And we also have Lars is calling in as well to help us discuss. But you guys have some new products. You've got some new things. Why don't you talk about some of that?
Yes, Colourlock is a German brand, and we make products for leather repair, for leather painting, for leather restoration, for the automotive industry, and for also for end consumers, and a lot of DIY products, and everyone can do it by himself.
Yes.
And we have a lot of products here, you know it. We have some products that you sell here.
Yes. Yeah.
And today we present you the new Colourlock leather coating.
Excellent.
Yes.
Now, in previous years, we've talked about we don't like doing coatings on leather. We want to be able to, because the problem is most ceramic companies, when they create a coating for leather, it almost seals the leather and prevents it from being able to use your sealant, your conditioners and things. So this is a permeable coating, correct? So it still allows the ability to protect as well as condition and doesn't harm and hurt the leather.
Yeah, the problems with leather coatings is usually that that is not breathable.
Yes.
Otherwise, they contains solvent based, and that's a problem. They build layers. If you put it on it, and if you want to remove it, you have to use solvent, and that's then the leather is suffering, and maybe you can damage the leather. And the most important thing, or one of the important thing, is that you have no approved by the automotive industry. Yes, and our product, our new Top Life product, is water based.
Okay.
It stays a long time. The normally coating that the normally sealings that we have last for 3 or 6 months, and with the Top Life, it lasts for 12 months. It depends on how to use your car.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to handle.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
Yes.
Well, cool. And I don't know if we got Lars on the line also to help explain a little bit about this some more. But I know this is one of the advantages of Colourlock is you guys make all the products in-house.
Yes.
So all of this is 100% developed in-house and manufactured in-house because Colourlock has been doing leather, and specifically leather.
Yeah. They
That's what
understand
sets you guys apart, is that it's you guys do like we said, leather, and you do it well, but you've done it for so many years.
Yes.
And the folks that work like Lars himself and Matthias,
A lot of experience.
they have a lot of
Yes,
experience in leather, so much so that Lars is literally at the world's largest leather show in Dubai right now, literally showing us a little bit of behind the scenes there. Hello, Lars.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going, guys?
We're good.
Can
Well,
you hear me?
we can hear you. I wanted you to talk a little bit about Colourlock and the company, how long you've been around, and just a little bit about the company itself.
Yeah. So Colourlock is founded in 1995 in Germany. A New Zealand guy who already did leather repair before in New Zealand, falling in love with a German woman. So that's the reason why he moved to Germany. And we start with a leather repair service. And we figure out very quickly that there's no good products on the market, so we start to produce our own products. And myself, I also start around this time, and I know the owner from this time also. So yeah, we have now experience around about 27 years. We are creating and producing every product by ourselves. So we have a lab. We have good contacts to the car industry, good contacts to the furniture industry, but also to tanneries and all of these things. And we are, now I think when you look at the leather, vinyl, and plastic repair interior, I think we are the worldwide market leader. And happy to be here on this show and to tell a little bit about ourselves. Yeah, we have, what is also interesting, we have 70 employees, distributor partners around the world, and some countries we do by ourselves. So, yeah.
Awesome.
What do you want to know more?
Well, I want to talk about, we're going to start cleaning this seat, and let's put some of this top
Yes, we have to
life on
clean
it.
it
If you
before.
could explain a little bit about the development about it and how it kind of, what made it so special, what was the reason for it, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe I can say a little bit more about coating, or the problem of coating. So
Yes.
you already explained correctly. The one main issue is that it's mostly solvent based. So at this moment, when you apply it on a leather coating, on a pigmented leather, you stress also the surface with the solvent, because leather is breathable, it's open pore, even if it is pigmented. It is a little bit breathable because you want to carry it. So when you put a conditioner on it, you want that this can pass the paint, the clear coat and the paint layer, and come down to the leather. So you need a porous surface, even if it's coated or it is pigmented on the surface. So and for this reason, leather is never solvent resistant. So you need a coating what is water-based, that you don't damage the surface with the coating at the same time when you apply it. So Top Life is water-based, of course. The next one is, I was trying to get a quiet place, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I passed
Well,
here to the Burj Khalifa. I'm right now in Dubai, so
Totally understand, Lars. Thank you.
This is the first thing. Yeah. So the first thing is it's you damage at the same time when you want to do something good for your leather because you use a solvent-based product. The next thing is that you have a chemical system what is not made for a flexible, soft, and flexible and soft surface.
Yeah.
So material. So because the most coatings are finally too hard. the companies try a lot of things, and more or less they do also a not bad job, but it's still too hard. And the main issue is that it's sealant complete, so the breathable is completely stopped, and the leather will dry out underneath the coating.
Okay.
This is nothing what you show up very quickly. You know? It's a little bit like what Chris West always say about plastic. You know, you can go on a fading plastic part with a heat gun, and you get the black back. Yeah. But what you are doing, and it's awesome. It looks awesome. It's perfect. You know. But you do so many stress on the material so that it will be damaged on the long term, and so it's better to use solution finish for this, because then you are gentle to the surface. And that is the same what we did with Top Life, and we need around about 10 years to create this product, honestly, because there was no correct or good raw material on the market to do water resist a water-based product, what is really sealant and is breathable, is UV filter resist, and also what is one thing more is a few coatings, especially when you put it on a bright tan leather, and it get UV, it changed to yellow. I don't know how many people have this experience or hear this before. But we have this issues, or people have these issues from time to time, and our product has no changing to yellow something. So there's a UV filter inside, and and it is the DIY version is for 12 months. What Michael already last, and there's also a professional way to do this. We will come up with this a little bit later, because you need to be trained and certified for this when you are a detailer. And this is then with a guarantee of 24 months. And this is the first water-based breathable coating for leather, vinyl, and plastic. So you can also seal in your door panels, your dash if you want, or whatever. So that is a That's a different, and then maybe I pass to you guys because cleaning is always the first step, of course. Even if it's new, please clean it before.
Yeah, so we're cleaning the seat right now. As you can see, we're using some of the mild cleaner along with the brush. Now this seat we've done a couple repairs on, so that's why you probably saw some of the dye coming off, because we have done some random stuff. This is one of our seats that we love to do this with, because it's a pretty decent leather on the face of this. So, but this is basically like what you would see in a normal everyday driver. So we're getting it cleaned up, and this is something that you guys could do at home as well. Any of the kits, the vinyl leather care kit, all of these work really well for that. But this, again, first step with the new top coat is we are getting it cleaned so that we have a clean surface to work with before we start putting on the preparation coating and then the actual coating itself. So, and it's very simple. As you can see, Michael's just scrubbing lightly, getting it all cleaned up, wiping it off with a towel, and we'll get going on the next set there.
It's a little bit damaged in this area.
All
So
right.
now you have to let him dry.
Yep.
That's very important. So, and here is our new Top Life set. It contains the prepare.
Yep. Fair
You
coat.
have to prepare the material before. It's like to degrease it, and
This kind of acts like almost like similar to like a panel wipe on a car coating.
Yes,
This is a degreaser.
It's a degreaser.
To make sure that everything, all the oils and things that could come in contact are removed. So your hand oils, lotions, things like that you would get on the seat normally. Now, most of the time we've cleaned all that off and we've brought the seat back to a nice, natural, normal pH.
Yes, but you have to do this before.
we do have to
you
do
use this one. Yes.
And this will help with bonding too for that.
Yes, the
having
bonding is very stable. The connection is very stable, and therefore you need the prepare.
Excellent.
It's like a ceramic coating on a paint on a car.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is a microfiber in it, an application sponge, and special product.
Yeah.
Tip life.
There's your coating. So
Yes, it's very
hold that
easy
there
to
for
handle.
sea bass, we can see. So those are the, so it comes with that, with the applicator sponge and a towel. So nice little setup there. All right, put that up front here.
And guys, it's really the first time that we show this online, or we show the world that we have this
Apply the
product.
prepare.
So it's,
Yeah, this is a new thing. That's the,
Yeah, it's very new, but it's very easy.
So we wait for TRCMA to show the world.
thank
what
you,
we
Lars. I
have.
appreciate it.
So, and wipe it off.
So he's just wiping down the seat right now with the prepare.
So you see, it's also cleaning a little bit.
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
like the leather cleaning oil. So we take the back side.
So the prepare has an alkaline pH.
Okay.
So it's normally too high. The reason for this
now
is when
you
you go with the alkaline.
Let them time to make to get dry.
Okay.
It's important.
So good thing
So
to
when
let
you
it
go with
dry
the,
before we do the next step. Make sure that your leather is nice and dry after doing the prepare. And the alkaline you
with the
said,
heat gun.
and you can speed it up with a heat gun for the drying process.
Yes, you can speed it up with a heat gun, but now it's not necessary. It's,
Yeah.
goes very fast.
And you said, Lars, this is a alkaline cleaner, correct?
Yeah, the pH is normally too high for leather, but
don't hear
Yeah.
what we want is to
but this is
get the original
Yeah, I
clear
can hear
coat.
it. You can. Yeah. So a solvent free.
We want solvent free, of course. Everything is solvent free, but it's alkaline. The reason for this is that we want to expand the clear coat a little bit, so
Okay.
that it will take the top life coating, so that you get a better bounding on this. You know, so
Yes.
it's a heavy degreaser, or it's a very proper degreaser. This prepare. And on the same time, the clear coat will be expanded a little bit, so it's ready to take
Okay,
the new clear
yeah.
coat, the top coat, the top life
top coat becomes
coating
the
on it.
new
So
clear
that is,
coat.
that is,
So
Yes,
this,
yes.
yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
Because I can't hear.
Yeah.
that is bounded very well. Okay,
Yeah. All right.
sorry.
Do
sorry,
the
guys,
next
so
step.
go
That's all
forward.
right.
So next step, you take the application sponge, apply it on it. Make a little bit like this.
Massage in.
So it's important you apply it very thin,
A very thin
Without-
layer,
without any gaps.
making sure that you're staying even, no gaps.
Yeah.
So about the gloss, we try to find a good middle way, that it is matte enough, not too glossy, but also not
It's
too matte.
very easy to
You know
handle.
that you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lars is saying that the gloss levels, you guys wanted to go with a very satin, very matte, very factory
Yes.
look. So you weren't too glossy, but at least enough to know that you put something on, right?
Yeah, the gloss gets a little bit higher, but it disappears after 48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes 48
No
hours
problem.
fully to cure.
Yes. So now you let it time to dry.
Yeah.
You can use it after 2 hours immediately, but you
Okay.
have the full protection after 40
Okay.
hours.
So if you're
48
doing this in a shop setting for business, let it let it cure for 2 hours before sitting on it and
Yes,
doing
yes,
stuff.
of course.
So you do need to make sure you have that time to do that, and then you'll get full protection within 48 hours.
Yes, 48 hours, yes. And we also have a professional product, and Lars said it, you have to be certificated for it, and you have to apply it with an air gun.
Okay,
Airbrush,
so
yes. And this product contains the Top Life product, a harder microfiber, and you need a training for it.
Yeah. So part of that is, those of you that have been that have seen the Colourlock trainings, obviously not since COVID in the U.S., but they are working on that to get trainings out and again here in the U.S. But there are Colourlock trainings all over the world that are being taught, and this is one of the new products that will also be part of that, in the sense that you're going to need to take that training to get certified in how to install Top Life, but then that's something you can provide to your customers.
Yeah, the benefit of this product is it lasts for 24 months.
Yeah, which is
it depends how to use your car.
Yeah,
and but it works. It's
excellent, excellent. Well, sweet. So that was it, guys. Very simple, very easy. Dane, do we have some questions for the guys, for Michael and Lars?
We have quite a few actually here. Let me kind of go down the line and I'll work my way up.
I can't hear anything.
So I'll start here with Demo simply saying that leather coating sounds great. I will have to check that out.
Excellent.
And then I've got Brian Muller here saying for MB Techs and fake leather, what are the pros of Colourlock versus, say, an interior cleaner and using an interior coating?
For Mercedes-Benz Techs or fake leather?
MB Techs, it's imitated leather.
Yep.
Yes, and you can use it also there.
Yeah, so you can totally use any of the Colourlock products. And one of the other things we talked about at the beginning, Colourlock is certified by Mercedes-Benz.
Yes, that's a great point. It's approved by
Mercedes.
Industry.
Yep.
And there's also an important fact there.
Yeah, so Mercedes-Benz themselves would probably tell you to use Colourlock products on their seats.
Not just Mercedes-Benz.
Then I've got Kimberly here saying suggestions
Correct,
to restore
all the marks. Yeah.
Suggestions to restore black cracked leather prior to application.
Kimberly, so there is we have a Colourlock refresh kit that you can pick up 20% off today. You can buy the black leather refresh kit and you can use it yourself. We've got a number of videos on how to do it, and it's a great product, and will really bring that leather back.
Yeah, very interesting. Is
we also have
the leather steering.
Yeah, we also have the leather steering wheel kit, which is a good kit to have as well. So
that worked wonders.
But the leather refresh kit, we have that in the store. You can pick it up 20% off today. So,
and then Jay Bear simply saying he uses Colourlock on all the classic cars he does.
Yeah.
And I've got Kimberly saying she runs into issues with daily driver seats. So
yes, Kimberly.
That seems to be the problem area. But then Kevin here with a little more pointed question. I'll go ahead and let you guys run with it. He says, I'm curious, what's the difference between Colourlock line of products versus Gtech Leather Guard, aside from the bacteria killing pro? And then he follows up, leather protection offers UV protection. Does Leather Shield also offer UV protection, even though it's not stated?
Lars, can you see that question?
I can answer if you want.
Go for it.
Yeah,
I can see this question. So Gtechnic is another brand. I appreciate this brand. I think what Rob is doing is pretty good. Eric is also a nice guy. But I'm not deep in this because it's not my product, So I can't tell you really exactly the difference between this product and this product. But what I can say, Gtechnic do a very well job. So I think this is absolute use. You can use it also. Leather Shield is designed for leather. That is true, but you can use it also on vinyl. It was some question when we start to create a leather shield from the car industry also, because the car industry say, we have mixed up sits, so vinyl on the side and original leather, genius leather on the seat. So we need a sealant product, what we can use on both materials, what works on both materials. So that was something what we already create from the beginning. that it works in both. So if you have MVTEX, Artico, Sky, or whatever other kind of vinyl, you can apply leather shield, no problem. What the name in your shop is sealant, the leather sealant product. So 20% off of this today also, I guess. No? And the new leather care kit you have also, or how you call it? Vinyl and leather care, or leather and vinyl care kit.
Yeah, leather and vinyl care kit.
There's
here.
also the mild leather cleaner inside and the sealant inside. So sealant is for both materials, for real leather and also for plastic. And so for vinyl. What I want to say is it works also on plastic, guys. So
it does.
Try on plastic, and it works also on this white tire things. So when you have this tires with white vintage car tires with white, to seal in this, it works also on this.
On the white walls.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I've got Kirby Thompson here saying how long to dry the pre-cleaning for the next 2 steps of the new coating kit.
You can use a hair dryer or even a heat gun to help speed the drying. But Kirby, you're in Texas. It's not going to take very long to dry for you.
He also asked a follow-up here where he was wondering if the coating can be applied to both the leather seating surface and the sides, which are often not true leather.
Yes. It works on all the surfaces. So, on leather and the vinyl.
Yeah, Top Life. That was something what we want to do also. So Top Life works. Yeah, Top Life works on genius leather, on fake leather or vinyl, and on hard plastic also.
Yep, and on hard plastics because like even on this car, on this seat, on this side you can't see, but there's a giant piece of plastic here for the airbag, for the side airbag on here, and that this way you can protect all of the parts on the seat when you're working on that. So all the Top Life products work on that. So cool.
We want to make it so easy as we can.
I'm adding a bunch more questions here, but that's up to you guys if you have time to do it or not. So
we have plenty of time, he says. So what else is next?
So let me throw a few more up here, and I'll gather some more as we go. I was going to say, Kimberly, making a good point, saying, forgot to mention I'm getting windshield tinted before I repair the seat, which should help down the road. And that is a good point. If you're getting windows tinted, you're going to help those seats last a little longer.
Yeah.
And then I've got Ivan here. Ivan Campazano says, for the leather refresh kit, how much should this service cost? Or should this be considered an upcharge type of service?
What do you charge to do a refresh kit on a customer's car in Germany, where you're at? What does that service run if you're just doing refresh?
Cleaning.
Well, you're doing the cleaning, and then maybe you're using the leather refresh, the black dye to re-dye these seats, or
to give them a new color. There's a leather fresh repairing kit. You can use it as well, like this.
Just like in the leather. What is the cost that you would charge for the service out of your shop?
Yes, it depends how the damage is.
Okay. Maybe if it's one seat or two seats.
Yes, it's 1 or 2 seats. How big is the area? Maybe heavy scratches or some other damages on the seat. They are no standard price.
Okay.
It depends also on the damage.
Yeah.
But it's
so
roundabout.
if it's
So when you just have the
go ahead, Lars.
When you just have the polster. Yeah, so when you just have the polster rubbing off from come in and out of the car, so it's round about 200, 250 euros, so $200 roundabout. And if you have to repair on the whole seat, and it goes up to 350, so what is round about $300, I guess.
Yeah.
So that is for one seat. So it starts by 150, goes up to 350.
150 to 350.
And then depends how big the damage
Yeah.
is, and if you have some. If you have some deeper tears, then you put some filler inside. No problem, Michael.
He's basically, and like Lars is saying, it really depends on the seat.
Yeah.
Like Michael also said, if there's tears, if there's damage, if that kind of stuff, it really goes up. But if it's just some slight cracking with a little bit of refresh needed, 150 to 300 for the seats, you can kind of build it out how you want, for sure. So, and then.
if you want to make the maintenance cleaning after the coating, there's no problem to use a leather cleaner mild.
Okay, so you can
Yes,
use
and
mild leather cleaner on it to
mild
clean the
leather clean,
seats.
and after that leather protector.
And leather protector after.
Sealing.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yep.
And if it's necessary, you have to remove it,
Yeah.
the coating, and with leather cleaner strong,
Okay.
and then you can
Cool.
renew it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so now I got Francis here asking, what's the difference between Colourlock leather sealant and top life?
Longevity is the
Okay.
biggest difference. And chemically, it's a little different. So sealant is about 3 to 6 months,
3 to
depending
6
on your usage. And then top life is a year up to with 2 years up to with the professional version of top
Yes.
life. So that's the biggest difference.
Excellent, exactly.
Okay.
Ricky saying, I
Asking
have to
about
ask
availability.
dates. Yeah, for availability. Also, the last point regarding certification, will Top Life be available widely or? So he's asking about dates. So Ricky Colon is in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
So we got to figure out a way to have a party in Puerto Rico and do a bunch of trainings for all of our brands.
And then Mark,
Yeah, sounds good.
But-
No, we don't
but-
have any plans for Puerto Rico at the moment, but he can
Yeah.
order. We will ship it to him. That's no problem.
Yeah. So Ricky, the biggest thing is continue to check the Colourlock website and stay tuned on the trainings and things as they go around the world and find a spot next to you. So.
now Mark here is asking about refresh and wondering if you can get it outside of the kit. He has everything else in the kit. He just wants refresh.
I think we still, I don't know, but I'd have to find out. But if not, you can also order direct from their website too.
Sure.
And get a refill bottle and that kind of stuff. You can also
All
change
right.
colors. There's all kinds of stuff. So,
Then the last one I've got here in my current queue is Mike asking, are there certain steering wheels that the Colourlock steering restoration kit will not work on?
plastic steering wheels.
So very critical, yes.
So
Yeah.
like kind of cheap work
steering
vehicle
wheel.
kind of steering wheel.
Yeah, it really works best on leather. So, when we did it, we found a BMW steering
all this
wheel.
old,
Yeah.
And
all
then
this
Kevin.
very old.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lars.
And this very old bakelite. I don't know if it's in English the same word. Do you know bakelite? So what a Chevy from the beginning of the 80s had or something. So this
Okay.
this plastic steering wheel bakelite is a special plastic. Also, all Mercedes have this. It looks like plastic or like an elephant, the horn.
Like an elephant
But it is
skin,
a plastic called bakelite. Yeah, it looks like this, but it is a bakelite. So it works. Leather Fresh doesn't work on this. So it works on leather and vinyl, but not on plastic.
So there you go. So leather and vinyl wrapped steering wheels specifically.
Okay. And then the last one I got here is from Kevin saying, for clarification, Top Life is still a water-based coating, but a sealant of sort. CarPro offers a water-based coating, but this is different. So he's just kind of wondering a little more specifically where it falls on the scale.
I don't got this question.
So he said it's a Top Life is still a water-based coating, but is it a sealant or a coating? That's what he's wondering. Is it closer to a?
Yeah, it's a coating.
So
I think people get hung up on terminology
coating,
a lot of
like-
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he apologizes for all the questions,
Yeah,
but
so-
says thank you.
No. So we call it Top Life coating because it's really a coating. So it is a new layer on the surface. This is with this effect that you don't get it dirty, that you can clean it easy, and all these things what you expect from coating. That is what it do. So it is technically it is a coating. You can call it also a clear coat or top coat, but that is in the terms not 100% correct. And the sealant, the difference between top coat or a coating and sealant is that the sealing rub off faster than a coating is more permanent. So it's not. That is a big difference between coating and, for my understanding, I hope.
Yeah.
You go with me, Levi.
So what basically reiterate what Lars is saying, the coating is an actual layer. It's a new layer.
It's like a clear coat.
Yeah, like a clear coat that's on the surface, and that a sealant does go on, but it does wear off a lot faster. And so this is the availability to be able to have another layer of protection that doesn't wear as easily, but is still permeable, breathable. So it's not going to damage the leather in the underneath under the colored layers as well. Still protecting.
That makes sense. Now I got one more here before I kick it over. But let me
last
add
question.
This one here. Simply wanting to know, what's the shelf life of Colourlock products? Just as maybe just a couple of specific ones. I'm sure each one is different, but is there an expectation somebody buys it, puts it on their shelf, how long they could keep it around before it's got to be replaced?
So the shelf life of it. So basically customers are asking if they buy a box and they don't use it for 6 months to a year, is the product still good to use?
Yes, no problem. No problem.
There you go. You heard it.
So what we warranty is 24 months, so 2 years. For most of the products, the crosslinker doesn't have this shelf life. It's shorter, but everything else, color, leather fresh, the cleaner, everything.
Yeah.
For sure, 2 years, no problem. But we have. I get this question also on trade shows and or by trainings. I say always, so we warranty 2 years, but I know customers, and that's really true, they have color in the shelf when it's 10 years old, and still you can check it off, it smells normally, and you can use it. You know what I mean? So 2 years warranty, but you can stock it longer. The main thing is not too hot, not too cold, not in the sun, all of these things, what is normal for liquids, you know.
Perfect.
Oh, makes sense.
Michael, thank you for joining me, man. Appreciate it. Lars, thank you for being on here and helping us out.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. I thank you guys very, very much for having us here and also doing this thing with me from Dubai and hospitality with Michael. He's very enjoying all you guys there, and
I know we're probably going to be going to the junkyard one of these days here, so while he's here. Well, sweet. Well, guys, make sure you pick up some Colourlock products today. 20% off, and of course, get yourself one of the new coins so you don't miss out.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dane.
Yeah, let's kick it over to Anthony. See what's going on over there.
All right, so here at this table joining me is Jay from Gtechnic Marine, which I'm extremely excited about because we have a pretty awesome jet ski behind us here that we're going to be working on today. So Jay, give us a rundown, right? What's going on with Gtechnic Marine?
So we kind of piggybacking off what Eric brought out yesterday as far as the relabeling program.
Who came first?
Marine did, of course. I mean, the company started in the yachting world, so we might as well come out with the labels first.
Yeah.
We introduced the relabels back in February at the Miami Boat Show. It's been a big hit, really upped the look of the product and really brought a little bit higher class look to it. Not that the product was bad, but the labels are really up in the game for us. And like Eric mentioned yesterday, we're creating the symmetry or the synergy between all of the labeling and keeping the your wash areas, your maintenance areas, coating areas, all of that together based on the color coding on the systems here.
Absolutely.
But what we have in front of us is the entire lineup of the Marine product as it stands now. Okay. And of course we are working on a few other things that are kind of bubbling in the surface, still to be determined and as to their ETA and all that. But
it's exciting. We like hearing those things. Things are in the works. Okay.
Absolutely. So what we have, and this is a brand new item for us, which is our UV wash. And I'll put up the little hatchling here. So this is a 50 milliliter sample that we are giving away at our boat shows. And this birthed that. So
you would think that this birthed that, but I guess
you got to started small.
Started small, grew up, right?
Yeah, we're expanding.
Okay, I like the way that sounds.
That's the American way.
So UV wash, so that's pretty cool. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to break out all the wash products today, right? But what makes UV wash a little bit different than maybe other washes out there?
So the big thing is the UV inhibitors that this presents as you're washing the boat, your vessel, your PWC, those items. And so based on the marine environment being fairly harsh, and really harsh in some areas, we're looking at the UV protection to really enhance the look of the boat and to protect the investment that people are making in these items.
Very big investment, right?
Huge investment.
It's a very big investment, and you know, understanding the cost of a boat, right, in comparison to well, it's kind of a joke around here, right? We see Ferraris, you know, drive by, right? We see Lamborghinis every once in a while, and everybody says, "Oh, that guy's got money, right? That guy's got money." No, it's the guy with the 3500 diesel, right? From 2022 with the most extreme package, hauling some type of $200,000 boat, right? And you say that's the guy with money right there, right? And so. Those
that's
boats,
play money.
Those boats, it's play money too, right? It's not even like clout money. It's just that's what I like to do on the weekends, right? The Ferraris are back at the house. I have those too, but it's it's really interesting. So having this to be able to protect the investment, right, keep everything going, but could this be applied, the UV wash? What is the limitations on what it could be applied to on, like, let's just say something like this?
No limitations.
No limitations.
So this is truly top to bottom, bow to stern, to use the marine terminology. Port starboard. But yeah, it's a great overall wash by itself. Perfect maintenance wash. It has enough of the degreasing capabilities in there to create a good decontamination wash. But by itself, it's a perfect wash.
Absolutely.
And again, it's a concentrated, like all of our products usually are. A 50 milliliter bottle like this is good for a 5-gallon bucket. So the 500 milliliter size like this is going to last you quite a while. We don't necessarily see as many foam cannons in the marine industry as we do on the automotive side.
Very true.
Saying that, it is still something that can be put in the foam cannon to get that functionality out of it.
Would there be any difference in water behavior with the UV wash?
No.
No difference in water behavior. So you would retain if your boat was coated, right?
Exactly.
You still have that same water behavior to expect, right?
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. So I really like the idea of all that, and I have to agree with you that the line does look significantly better, right? And it's not saying that the old line was that bad looking. It's just what happened is that sometimes labels are harder to read based off of the colors, right, in the background, right? And so when you choose, dark blues, maybe like the previous label that had a lot of dark blue to it with a glossy finish, it didn't necessarily photo well, and you couldn't really see, like, what is that product? What is that person using? What does that say? But I think that these new labels across the Gtechnic board, I mean, are just they're beautiful. I love the metallic, but the flat feel of everything too. It makes it easier to grip.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
side benefits.
It's pretty. It looks good on. I mean, it's going to look great on a shelf. It's going to look great in the shop. I couldn't have done it better myself, and not that I could, because I'm not a graphic designer by any means. But
I farm that out to the specialist.
Our graphic designer Nate, though, does appreciate the labels, and he does really like the way they look. So behind us here, so we have. Where did we get this from? Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know who this is, but you know what?
They're
going to end up with a coated jet ski, hopefully by the time that today is over. So
that's the goal.
What are we going to be using today?
So on this particular product, or on the Wave Runner, it's already been polished. So that job is done. The hard work is done. And you don't want me running a polisher, so that's a good thing.
I don't want to have to polish. I don't want to polish a jet ski. I've polished a couple of boats, and once you've done it, you don't really want to do it again.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. So once you've done it for free, you don't want to do it again, maybe for free, right? There you go. That's the proper answer. Yeah.
It's and part of my job is business development. So I'm working with the detailers, the installers out on the network, developing that. And there is a ton of potential in the boat side.
Oh, absolutely. No,
it is work.
It is work, but there's a lot of money to be made.
Pays for itself.
There's a lot of money to be made inside the boat and outside the boat, right?
Absolutely.
Because depending on what you're wanting to tackle and what the customer is wanting to pay for, I mean, the whole boat detailing is a whole other segment. But I mean, there is, especially based on your location, there is a ton of work to be had there. It's tough work, it's hard work, but I think that the outcome and the money to be made is there, absolutely. 100%. I think even when we went to I think it was the first time that we saw the marine line in person, and we saw it being used in Georgia. We were seeing just how common that actually was, is to be having these boats being worked on. But yeah, my recommendation: don't take a boat job for free because halfway through you'll say, "Oh, why did I do this? I wanted to learn," but you learn pretty quick, right?
Yeah, it's an expensive lesson, but do it once, get it out of the system, and you're good.
Get your feet wet, literally, right? And so and then jump into it. Okay,
that's the joy of boating industry. You get all kinds of boating puns, and
ton of boating
we're all in this
puns.
boat together. So.
Yeah, awesome. So on the table here we have some 365s, we have some Pearl Weave edgeless towels that we're going to be using for the job.
Right.
So explain to me, right after the vessel. Right? Can I say vessel?
You can say vessel.
Okay, I'll say vessel. Yeah. After the vessel has been prepared, been polished, what would be the next step before going into the coating?
So we would do panel wipe.
Okay.
And the steps, the processes, the principles, the theories between automotive to marine are all the same.
Yeah.
You're working on surface correction. You're working on getting that base level to where it needs to be from a presentation standpoint, workability standpoint. So after it's been polished, all of that, you do panel wipe.
Okay.
And this is what we call truth serum, if you want to call it that.
It very much is. It shows you the work you have and haven't done,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
The work you thought you did, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, with the Wave Runner, jet ski, they're all within that category.
Okay.
What we're looking at here is it's a fiberglass reinforced plastic, FRP, or glass reinforced plastic. It is a little bit different than your typical boat in terms of the way it's manufactured. Still fiberglass at its base, but there is some plastic associated with this.
Okay.
Your typical Nautique, Mastercraft, those boats are gel coat fiberglass type of manufacturing, so it's a little bit different. But again, the theories are the same. So you still want to do the panel wipe, and with this one, because of a darker hull, we've diluted panel wipe a little bit. I'm going to spray it on the towel, versus directly on the surface.
And you're going about 1-to-1 is what you would say?
Yeah,
okay.
So the 50-50 dilution.
50-50,
yeah.
okay.
So just a little bit on the towel. You don't need to saturate it or anything.
Okay.
So we'll start up front. And again, this is just to get rid of any residues or anything that may have been left behind.
Okay.
So just like your normal
and in terms
type.
Well, a quick question for you then. Yep. So for example, right, on a jet ski, you're more commonly going to see vinyl, and you're more commonly going to see stickers, right, and decals, right?
Decals.
When it comes to this entire process, this entire step, I mean, this is all things, would you ever recommend polishing over? Are you going to polish around? What's kind of the process that you've seen before in the past?
It's some of both.
Okay.
But because of it being the GRP, FRP, the adhesion of the decals, as they say in the UK, is better. So it's okay to polish over these. You're not really going to get real deep into the pressure, the heat, all of that. So it's pretty good to do okay with the vinyl on there as it is.
Okay. Very cool.
So.
But this thing's pretty cool looking. I've ridden a couple of jet skis, right? And I think they're a blast, right? I love. They're it's wild, right? When you go out there and you actually, it's funny. You see it from a distance. You go, oh, that looks like a good time. Trust me, they're having an absolute blast on there.
Right.
I was thinking to myself too. I'm like, okay, having it coated, right? Obviously, it's going to make it a lot easier to clean. Would you ever coat the underside or towards the bottom here? Was that something you would do on a jet ski in comparison to like a boat?
Not a normal course of action, and partly because what you're seeing with these is it's just going to be, as they're loaded on the trailer or on the bunks, things like that, there's a lot of abrasion.
There is.
And it kind of negates the purpose of an application of ceramics under there.
Okay. I just didn't know because the size, it's much smaller, right?
Yep.
It'd be more manageable to do, but people might want to know, is that an expectation? And if a customer is paying money for you to detail their jet ski, what is their expectation? Are they expecting everything to be coated? When they say, I want my thing coated, what would you do? Like, where would you cut it off?
Typically waterline.
Okay, waterline.
And again, that's the communication side of it. When you're talking to the customer as to what their expectations are, what your capabilities are, what their overall goal is.
Yeah.
But typically, even on a boat, we'll say waterline up.
Okay.
And that's just the standard course of action. A lot of times on larger boats, you'll see bottom paint, which anti-fouling paint.
All right.
And that's for boats that stay in the water, that type of scenario. So that's why we say don't coat the bottom.
Okay.
Or don't recommend it. You can still coat it, but.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. So we've gotten at least this side of it done with the panel.
And you got up top here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
But we'll just make sure. But yeah, I got pretty good.
I mean, it's good looking. It's good looking blue. And
Yeah,
so
it is.
with the and the other thing too, I was going to ask is that most people that are storing jet skis and boats, I mean, it's kind of hit or miss, right?
Right.
Some have them covered, all the time.
Yep.
Some have them stored, but may be not covered and still exposed to sun,
Right.
And still exposed to a lot of that UV breakdown. So this is something that, I mean, I don't think anybody ever plans on wanting to store something outside, but it just tends to happen. So something like this is going to be able to have much better resistance, to time and wear, because we've all seen the jet skis from, the 80s, and we go, oh,
Right.
that's definitely from the 80s, right? It looks exactly like it's from the 80s.
Right. Yeah, the coatings will, so this blue that's here, that it'll lock that in.
Okay.
The blue that's here, it's going to lock that in. All of the coloring, that's really what your goal is with the coatings, is to lock that in, preserve it, no UV fading. So like you say, with those old jet skis and decals that you see out there, that originally started off blue, now they're like this, chalky, whatever.
It's something,
Right.
The reds are pink, and you go, was that purposeful? And was that on purpose, or was that actually red? No, I totally get it. And so, no, I think it's just it's an investment to make, especially if you're getting into this.
Right.
And if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, then obviously paying somebody to do it.
Right.
And having a detailer that's experienced, that's used this before, would be great.
This is a good mid-grade wave runner from Yamaha.
Yeah.
And saying that, it's still a $15,000, $16,000 piece.
Yep.
So it's not something you want to take lightly.
Yep, exactly. And so, all right, so I'm ready for the next step. So gloves, right? Necessary.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that is because, as we all know, true hard ceramics are solvent-based, have solvent carriers, and they can definitely get into the blood system.
Okay, all right.
We're all about safety, and safety first.
And so with this, right, because we were talking about this kind of pre-show here. If you wanted to, right, after going over that panel wipe, you could just jump into it with the ceramic fast coat if you wanted to, for quick protection, easy to apply, spray on, buff in, wipe off.
You can, and what we see that a lot of times, and these are crazy, but we see that a lot of times with, say, your rental fleets.
Okay.
And people that have a lot of these in their stable. So it's a lot easier to maintain. It's a lot easier to clean up once the customers have brought it back from their escapades out on the beach and things like that. Jumping waves and chasing the big yachts and riding behind them. But that's where the fast coat comes into play.
Okay.
So what we will do is we will start with ceramic base, and we have 50 milliliter size and we have 250 milliliter size, depending on the sizing of the vessel, the boat, PWC. This being as small as it is, the 50 milliliter bottle will definitely take care of it with some leftover. And as usual, shake it up.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
Shake it
and
up.
so what's I've kind of noticed this at metal bottles, right, versus glass. Is there a reason for that?
Absolutely.
Oh, there is. Okay, there is a reason. Okay.
One, because it is solvent based, so glass and aluminum is what you'll see for true hard ceramics because of the solvent carriers. Any of your really good marinas, any yacht clubs, things like that, they won't let you carry glass onto the docks. And
that is good. That is that. There's a lot of thought. Okay.
Or aluminium, as they say in the UK. But yeah, that's the big thing. And also to help slow down the curing process, we recommend to a lot of the installers that are out and about on the docks, especially in high heat areas or during the summer, keep it chilled. It slows down the curing process. It makes it a lot easier to use.
Yeah.
And so that's just one of those tidbits that we'd like to throw out there.
How could somebody keep it chilled? Let's just say if they are in a really hot environment, like what's something they can do?
Just a small styrofoam cooler with ice.
Okay.
Keep it that way.
Okay.
Or we really like to see it in the shade, if possible. But if you're just running around, you've got a crew running around, just give them a little styrofoam cooler, throw some ice in there, and that'll be sufficient for this.
Put it right next to the Gatorade, right? Or just don't drink that.
Separate cooler.
Okay, separate cooler. Okay, that probably makes more sense.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the things I noticed, and I was like, that's pretty cool actually, and that helps kind of differentiate that too as well from the rest of the Gtechnic line, right, with being in the glass bottles. And so easier to ship too, right? Because they don't have to worry about any glass breaking, right? Potentially, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
So, okay, so how do we go ahead and apply this?
You can dent those. These, so
don't try too hard, right?
No, it's not the goal. But,
Yeah.
It's possible. So what we will do is, so we've shaken this, and we've gathered up one of your nice applicator pads.
Pearl puck here is what we're doing for the applicator.
And I like to put it on.
So there
like
is
that.
there's no what's it called?
No dropper.
No dropper.
Right.
Okay, and that's okay.
Yes.
But this would be the best way to probably do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
This way you can control the flow of product, and you still want to try and get it not completely saturated.
Now I don't know if you know this though, Jay. So this Pearl puck has the membrane barrier.
Okay.
So it keeps it from soaking too much into the sponge as well. So all that coating that you put on is only on that top coat, which is for use. Yeah, not for waste. Which is so when you applied it that way, I was like, hope you know that. Which is it's a good thing. It's awesome. It's very handy.
But still, a little bit goes a long way.
Okay.
So this will be sufficient for most of this. But what we'll do is we'll hit this first. Basically the hood area.
All right.
And underneath is the storage and gas access, but this is the easiest spot to hit.
Okay.
And again, with most coatings, you're going to do a
drip line kind of, or like
line.
Okay.
And then of course you just want to make sure you have your full coverage. And we'll go back through and crosshatch with this one. So we're in a good environment from a heat and humidity standpoint.
I would say pretty ideal. It's what it's maybe 68 degrees in here, right?
Something
pretty
like
dry.
Yeah. So it's flashing off fairly quickly, which is what we'd expect given the environment. You can apply this in the sunlight, but the workability of it will be really, really quick. And so as we see, it's already starting to do its flashing off.
Do its job. Now, so I guess another question would be, and with ceramic coatings, I mean, in general, we always tell people don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yep.
And so is this one of those where only tackle an area that you feel comfortable with? Because, I mean, some people might think, oh, I'll do the whole side.
Yeah.
And then they start wiping and they go, oh no, like this is getting tough.
Our product is easy to use, so it's very forgiving.
Okay.
But yes, we do recommend sections. And what I like to see and do is on the rub rails is put marker tape or masking tape or something like that.
Good idea.
To show the sections you're working on.
Because you'll lose where you've been.
Absolutely.
Especially on a big boat.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. I know that. Yep.
Minimum of 2 towels.
Okay.
So we'll do our primary leveling here.
Okay.
And if you notice, I did the handle, so it's perfectly fine on the handle there.
So textured plastic would be fine on.
Yep. All right, so we've done primary leveling here. So I will set that towel, and now we'll do the final polish and buff here.
Now, with the ceramic base, are you going to notice any major difference in slickness?
You will.
Okay, you will.
Yeah. When we do top is really when you notice the gloss, the hydrophobics. But saying that, base is still a true hard ceramic.
Okay.
So you do get those benefits as well.
So a question I've gotten, especially I've seen it on Amazon, I've seen it in a couple different places. Do you have to use the base before the top, or could you use the top by itself?
You can use base by itself.
Okay.
You can use top by itself.
Okay.
Now, base and top will give you the best benefit, the best performance, the longest protection.
Yeah.
And top really gives you a little bit better gloss.
Okay.
You get your tighter water beading, your hydrophobics there, but you also get an additional layer of UV protection with that.
Gotcha.
And then base is your new functional layer of the surface. Top is your sacrificial that you're maintaining for the longevity of that.
Okay, gotcha. And
but
so
in a word, yes.
Yeah. Okay, in a word, yes. Okay, so you can. What's the longevity of base so far? Like what we've done. So what we've done here, let that go. You don't put top on it. You roll with it. How long would you say?
On average, probably 12 to 18 months.
Okay. Okay.
With the proper maintenance. For new boats, and new boats we say anything 2 model years or newer, when it's installed by a certified installer, base and top, we will guarantee that for 3 years.
Cool.
And that's going to be waterline up, basically all your fiberglass areas. But yeah, it's an extremely strong product, extremely strong guarantee, and we definitely know the performance is going to be there and the benefits will be long lasting.
Very cool. Okay. All right. So what else we got to knock out next?
So I'll just put a little bit more. One of the things that we want to do after applying to the applicator is close the bottle.
Okay. Close. So I am guilty of leaving my ceramic coating bottles open when I eat. I just get in the zone. I forget. So, but this is one thing you want to close.
The big thing is you want to slow down the curing process as long as possible.
Okay.
Ensure the workability of it for as long as possible.
Gotcha.
So we can, again, we'll just keep the section, and so we'll work on this side. And what I'll do is now hit the black areas, and I'll leave the rub areas, the bumpers, and all that as they are. And again, the product's very workable, so it can be, you can jump around a little bit.
Okay. I just didn't know if it was one of those where I feel like I would lose track of where I am on something maybe such as this because you get overly confident. You say, oh, I can do this. It's all smooth surfaces, and then you go, oh no, where did I wipe there? Did I not wipe there?
I definitely bit off more than I could chew. But the cool thing is, it can be applied to all of the surfaces here.
Yeah.
So the decals, all of that.
The decals would be really important for, especially if this was mine, because that's what I'd be most worried about fading.
Yep.
Because I'd want to keep those from the factory, because I don't know that much about like the jet ski boating world, but I'm assuming it'd be probably hard to find the factory decals again down the road, maybe for parts.
It can be, and it will be expensive.
It will be expensive, yeah.
Anything marine related is expensive.
That's how they get you, right? They talk you into a good time.
Right.
They show you all the fun you can have. You get into it and you say, okay, is this an expensive hobby? Yeah, just a little bit.
But you can have tons of fun. It's a lifestyle that is really, really fun. All right, so what I did was I basically used this warning sticker as my guide for this section. So the brow there all the way to here, and just on the top side.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, the 2 towel method. So gray being the first, and you can.
And it flashes out quick.
It
does. The second you hit it, hit that with the first towel. And so typically what we would do is we would use a pearl as our knockdown towel and a 365 as our buff towel.
Okay.
But typically, but you know what? This is working though. So, and I feel like you probably still have a good bite here at the end, and it still feels nice and slick. And
it's very slick. Yeah, that's the joy of the ceramics is the slickness, because that's the protection layer that you're applying to this. So yeah.
Very, very cool.
So job done on those sections for now.
Okay, all right.
And the rest of it, that's the joy of being a basically 11 to 12 foot boat, if you want to call it that, is that the time is not an all day affair.
Yeah.
So we can knock this one out pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's when you get into, we just did the Palm Beach International Boat Show in West Palm Beach last weekend, and you'd see anything from 13 feet, basically like this, all the way up to a 256 footer that was there. And so that
I don't even know what I would do. I would say, wow, that is. I've never been on that big of a boat. I've been on what's it called, the house party boat.
Okay,
I've been on one of those
pontoon
before.
Boats, things like
that. But I've never really been on like a yacht or anything like
yacht,
that.
mega yacht.
Yeah, I think I would be pretty blown away.
Consider how large it was that it had its own helicopter on there.
Yeah,
And
I don't even. Like I said, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'd do. I would just walk around. I would just start. Actually, no, I know what I would do. I would walk in and I would start opening up all of the cabinets and going, wow, that is heavy. That is heavy duty. That's quality stuff, right? I'd start knocking on materials and say, wow, that's well built.
And you can pretty much be assured that they have the Ferrari in the garage.
Oh, I'm sure they do. And so, quick question though. So in terms of marine dedicated products, marine detailing, right? Is that something that you see quite often out there, let's just say at boat shows, at expos like this, or are you guys trying to really kind of pave the way for a premium experience across the board?
We're paving the way. We're definitely making the waves that are out there. Again, puns intended. But yeah, there's a ton of potential out there for detailers that are interested in boating, that know how to handle that product, and deal with that customer. It's disposable income. Anytime there's a boat involved, you know it's disposable income.
Yeah.
And so that customer has higher expectations, so that the professionalism is our goal, to develop that, to develop the network, and really get detailers and installers working as a business people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you had to pick out of a couple, let's just say a couple, I'll give you like 2, 3, let's do 3 products. 3 of your favorite products here in the line, or 3 products that could get somebody started in an initial boat detailing. What would you recommend?
UV wash.
Okay.
So that would be, of course, the cleaner. I would go with interior cleaner. And interior cleaner we didn't show here, but it's really good vinyl cleaner. Fast coat or rinse on.
Okay.
And that is really the base of what you need.
Okay.
And then we can get into the glasses and things like that. So windshields, isinglass, which is your canvas, things like that. But we have the full range here.
Yeah.
So these are all my babies.
Yeah, I know they are. Yeah, and one other question I had is water spots, right?
Right.
So I despise water spots on cars, right?
And you should.
They follow me and they follow my wife around through all of our adventures in life, and so I come home more often than not, and I say, well, so what happened there? Oh, there's a sprinkler hit me on a hot day, 100 degrees, right? And I go, oh no, right? I have a lot of work to do, right? So when it comes to water spot removal on a boat, how common is that to have to remove hard mineral content, hard water spots?
That's probably one of the biggest things we hear about at shows.
Okay.
And it's just because people don't dry
the
surface
they're not
when
dry,
they get back.
Yeah, they're not drying it. Yeah.
So it's part of the maintenance items, and that's really, we have a water spot remover. It is, to be honest with you, it's more of a maintenance type item than it is to really remove a lot of that. But that's where we have glass polish and glass coat to come in. So when you have that situation, then yes, we have ways of correcting that and making it easier going forward.
Okay. Yeah. Just because once you know what water spots look like and once they're there, you can't unsee it, right? It sticks with you for the rest of your life, and so that would be one thing to where, if I had a boat, at the end of the, end of the ride, all right, everybody start drying things off, right? Everybody start drying. I could see you missed this spot, you missed an area here, but if the boat or whatever I was on was coated, that's when I would be the guy with the leaf blower, under one of the seats, right? We would dry everything off, blow out the crack screws, touch those things up. Now we can leave, right?
You can go to the bar.
Yeah. Now we can go to the bar. So now next thing I was going to ask would be, so after laying down our base, how long would we have to wait till laying down top?
We recommend 12 hours.
Okay.
Again, depending on the climate, it can be as early as 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
But our recommendation is 12 hours.
12 hours. All right. And is it cured? How is it cured? Is it humidity cured? Is it time cured? What's the best
All the
thing?
above. So heat, humidity, time, and that's really what we see. And down in Florida is going to cure a lot quicker than it would up here typically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very helpful. Okay, so I'm going to ask Dane, is there any couple questions, maybe a question or two we can get to? Because I know we're kind of running a little short on time here.
No, I've got a few here, and actually it's funny. It always seems to go hand in hand. People see marine, they see boats and stuff, and they immediately start asking about RVs instead. So you get that too.
He said, if they see boats, next question is RVs. So they always say, there's just some type of, there's some connection there, right? Maybe it's because boats are often towed, right, with RVs? Maybe.
I'm thinking there's a gel coat connection oftentimes.
The gel coat connection is what he's saying.
But I'll pull up a couple here that are actually relevant to marine. So we'll start with Jorge here, saying how much will that marine coating last on a boat?
So we kind of discussed that earlier, about 3 years with both the base and the top.
Base and top, yep.
Okay. All right, and then I've got Sean, which you can't see the whole question, but I'll read it to you. He says, if applying in direct sunlight, what's the best practice with the applicator? How do we reduce flash off on the applicator so that we don't have wasted product? The temps can be from 70 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit locally.
So he wants to know so that they don't have wasted product because the temps can be very high, where they're at locally.
Multiple applicator pads.
So basically multiple applicators would be the best way?
Yep.
Okay, multiple applicators.
Okay. Divide and conquer.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, and then I've got Kirby Thompson here saying UV wash. Could this be safe on RVs with a gel coat exterior?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Next up, the Gtechniq RV line. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No, but
never say never, right? Never say never.
I will say, as far as keeping it relevant to marine, though, what are some common questions that Jay gets, say, when he goes to shows and stuff? What, other than water spots, what's probably the most common questions he gets?
So, Dane, want to know what is one of the most common questions that you get at either a boat show or maybe just online? What's something you see the most that
besides
might be,
water spots?
Yeah, besides water spots or anything like that. What would be the most? What would be like the second asked question?
It's probably. How easy is it to apply?
Okay.
Or how much does it cost?
Yeah.
And the ease of application we've shown here, it's an easy product, just like our other, the automotive line. The cost is a very subjective type situation, and that's where your communication with the installer and doing a physical inspection. Because some boats have a lot more surface area than others.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but it's some of it is DIY. We do get that question a bit. For the true hard ceramics base and top, we do like to see a professional installer apply that product.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool.
Okay. Excellent.
Oh, and a professional. I guess that would be actually my question. What defines a professional installer?
Well, professional by definition is someone who gets paid to do something.
All right,
So
exactly. Don't hire me. I don't get paid to do that stuff, right? Just do it for videos.
Right.
So,
You and me both.
so somebody that has. Would you look for somebody that has a Gtechniq accreditation, or is that something that would probably help make your decision, right?
It helps make the decision. Our accredited detailer network definitely gives us that introduction into other installers who may not be aware of what we offer on the marine side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, this type of atmosphere, doing the boat shows, that really gets our exposure to recruit those installers we're looking for.
Very cool. Very cool. Anything else, Dane, for us?
That was pretty much the main gist. So I think people are satisfied. They definitely see if they got boats or something they're going to deal with. One last thing I might ask, just throwing that out there, is as far as people who work on cars, is there an avenue people find to working on boats? Is it just some way they transition over to working on more marine-oriented detailing jobs?
That's a good question. So when somebody is there a point where somebody can find themselves transitioning from going from more automotive stuff to the boat world, right? Is that a transition that you see often, or is that something that, how do they go about doing that? Right? How do you go from, hey, I can polish in your car to, do you have a boat by chance? I can knock that out too.
Well, that's where you look at your customer. And so if they have that Ferrari, if they have the F350 dually, they're towing something with, that would be your natural progression into saying, hey, do you have a boat? Or do you have friends with boats? So you're looking for the referral basis on that.
Okay.
But there is a natural progression to that because, again, the processes and theories are all the same.
Yeah, awesome. That's helpful. And so, anyway, when can we expect to see the new labels, the new product, everything? Soon.
They're out.
They're out. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We introduced them at the Miami Boat Show in February. They're on the shelf.
Heck yeah. So 20% off Gtechniq Marine today at theradcompany.com. Make sure to pick some up. It's going to be absolutely awesome, as well as 20% off the other brands presenting today. And remember, for a limited time while supplies last, right, orders over $75 will come with the Rupes polishing kit of the Uno Pure, which is really exciting. And so speaking of polishing and speaking of the Master of Shine, I believe that we're being passed over to Levi soon.
Yeah, we're going to kick it over to Levi.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome. So I had the chance to sit down last week and interview Jace Price with The Last Detail. So pretty awesome stuff. He's got a whole bunch of new products in the works. So why don't we play that and you guys can hear our little interview.
Hey guys, Levi for The Rag Company, and with me, Mr. Jace Price of The Last Detail. For those of you that don't know, Jace has been, he is the man behind The Last Detail products, the products that you know and love, such as The Last Cut, The Last Cut Plus, and you've got a new one called The Final Polish. And Final Polish. Yeah, so it is going to be pretty sweet. So we're going to talk to Jace. So Jace, tell us, first off, for those that are watching TRCMA here, how did you start the brand? What's your background? And give us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the brand was started in my garage, basically, back in Las Vegas when I used to detail when I was stationed there. And I didn't see it getting to where it is today, but it just so happened that fixing the problem that I had ended up fixing the problem that everyone around the world had. And it just basically grew into what it is today by just being consistent and providing a product that people could rely on, in any situation. And time is money. So I understand that. And that was my ultimate goal.
So then the first product that you released was the Last Cut. And that kind of, you were saying, it fixed a problem that a lot of people had. And one of those was the fact that you needed a longer working time. You were working in a hot environment, and you needed a product that wasn't going to dry up on you. Right?
Mm-hmm,
That's kind of the reason why it kind of came about that way.
Exactly. Yeah, there was no way around it. So, yeah, at the time I was mixing other products together to get the result that I needed. And I just set out to see if I could make a small batch of, product for me to help me do what I needed to do, just in case I had to go teach classes or whatever. And it turned into what it is today.
Yeah. Well, it's honestly one of Anthony and I's favorite products. It's the one product we use. I literally was using it this morning on a vehicle, and it's become my go-to. So,
awesome.
Yeah, and I know a lot of folks, if they've never tried it, once they do try it, it becomes part of their arsenal as well. And it's like, I mean, you don't really need, I'll say this because it's true. Sometimes you don't need all the other products. There are tons of great products, but for a good 90% of the jobs, Last Cut has always been the problem solver. It's the one that you, like, if you've got finicky paint or you've got paint that just isn't, you're not something, can't get it corrected, that's become the problem solver. It's been one of those. So then Last Cut Plus, what was the reason behind that when you came out with that one?
Yeah, so the Last Cut Plus came about because I like to listen to the customer.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where the Last Cut was working, but there also were some people who wanted more aggression when it came to the harder paints, like your Audi paint, your Bentley paint, your BMW paint. It just depends on the harder side. And even those who are even looking into working on gel coat or worked on gel coat, they wanted an option to turn to. So that's why the Last Cut Plus came about, was because I wanted to put something else on the market that was more aggressive, and just to be able to not replace the Last Cut, but be able to step in wherever the Last Cut basically stopped. So the Last Cut Plus just came about to add an extra option when it came to aggression in the compound range.
Well, and what I like, and that's something that you've kind of done with both with the Last Cut and Last Cut Plus, is, like you said, that finishability. The fact that you can, you only need technically that one product to finish out and have really great corrections. The Last Cut is really shine in the fact that, for starters, they can really get some amazing professional level results with just that and a couple different pads. Was that intentional? Was there a reason for that, or was that something that you kind of just fell upon, or what?
Yeah, that was completely intentional. Because I was used to, back in the day, it was always one pad for cutting, one pad for polishing, one pad for finishing. And it was always preached to everyone that you could only cut with a cutting pad, you can only polish with a polishing pad. But I noticed that wasn't true. So whenever I did release the Last Cut, I realized that I was able to do multiple things with one pad. So I made sure, or spoke to my chemist to make sure the formula was compatible with all types of pads. So you had the ability to switch pads if needed to increase or decrease the aggression, while not, ruining the complete finish or the operation of the product. So we just made sure it was compatible so that the user could have the ability to switch pads if needed.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I wanted to make sure the user had the option to switch pads, because it's going to save you time, it's going to save you money, it's going to save you a headache.
Yeah.
And my goal.
I'm going to say this. I think what you ended up developing has quite possibly become the industry standard. You've got a product that is pad dependent, has long cycling time, doesn't need a lot of wetting agents to keep it going, but it can. You can use a little bit of water or ONR to prolong the life of the polish. It's, like I said, again, pad dependent, but it's also almost zero dust, which for compounding, polishing, it's about creating less mess, less just junk on everything. It's pretty crazy, dude. Like when I've talked to other suppliers and chemists and stuff, they've always said, whatever Jace has done for the last cut, I wish we could get there somehow. So now you've created a third product. And I got to use this, and we got to help, do a little bit of, you got to send us some samples. We got to do a little bit of development in that too. But I got to use the finished bottle. For a lot of us when we're doing product testing and stuff, it's having that seat time to really play with the product, know how the clear is going to react, know what pads are going to work, what machine are you. And I'll just say the final polish is insane. It's an insane product. Tell me about that. What was the reason? Again, what was the thought process? What was your game plan for this? Because you've already got two products that finish really well, right? Like, so there was no need, but you built something that wowed me.
Definitely. Thank you for that. Thank you for giving it a shot. And major props to my chemist as well. I'm not the chemist, but I know exactly how I want things to work. Props to him for giving me the opportunity to freely, do whatever I need to get where I need to be. So the final polish, that was a 4-year project. My initial goal was to create something totally different, not something that no one has ever seen before. But this has been the hardest project I've ever dealt with. And it was quite surprising, to be honest, because I thought, finishing polish, it'll be easy. He's like, okay, Jace, I'm going to give you these products is what you need to put it together. And whenever you figure it out, give me the numbers and I'll mass produce it. And I will make sure everything is good and then we'll go from there. So I'm like, all right, perfect. Which is kind of what I wanted because, it's a very long process to make changes and send it back to the chemist. They rework the formula, send it back out to me, test it. So him doing this for me basically sped the whole process up by probably at least a year or two. And me having that opportunity to mix freely, I was able to make quite a bit of samples, probably 70, 80 samples of just different quantities of different things, trying to see what works and, what was adding value, what wasn't adding value, what made sense to be in there, what didn't make sense to be in there. So I was able to get to a point where it would work on my test head. Then I would take it to actual paint and see exactly what it did. And my goal was to fix the extra oily issue. There are some great finishing polishes out there, but some are oily. Some, whenever the air gets to the pad, they start clumping and spitting product out.
Right.
Seen that before. Some of them sustain the trim. Once they hit rubber or plastic, it turns them white. And those are all problems that are issues that I was tired of personally. So my goal was to make something that was super thin, lubrication, but not proper lubrication, but not too oily. And also something that is, as pure as possible so that it would not stain the trim. So ultimately wanted something that just worked and was as pure as possible. Everything that didn't add to the product, I wanted it out. Not just because it was in there previously for all the past years in polish history. I didn't want to just follow that same path. I want to make it as simple for the user as possible. If it doesn't need to be there, let's get rid of it. It's waste. That's how I see it.
I think, and that's something I noticed for a lot of the newer brands coming out, is trying to minimize the amount of stuff out there. There's a lot of, we all have, it's great because there are companies that provide products specifically for different situations and what we need, but it can be overkill for a lot of companies, and it can be overkill for a lot of folks just getting into it. And the other big thing that I think a lot of detailers don't realize, and we all see it, but it's something that Anthony and I are very passionate about, you're very passionate about, is non-staining of the trim. The fact that all three of these products you can hit rubber and plastics with and not have any issues when it comes to that. You're not damaging that trim. You can wipe it off easily. You can clean it off easily, which saves you time as a detailer, because as much as I love guys that are taping and they're doing the heavy duty work and they're trying to be safe, I get it. That's so cool. I'm totally fine with it. It's not for me. What I like is that on a normal customer car, on any of that kind of stuff, I can just put my pad, my polish, and go to town. And I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress. And that's something huge that really makes or breaks a product in my eyes, is the ability to be able to have the not stain that trim, you know,
and stay working clean.
Yeah.
It saves a lot of time and headache.
Yeah, exactly. No, so what's on the game plan for the future? What do you got, like, let's say 5 years in the future? What are you looking at?
Yeah, so before I ventured into anything else, I wanted to make sure the polishes were done. That's where my main focus was, just to have that system to where you can give the three bottles to any detailer and they can tackle any job from start to finish, no matter what type of paint it is, and have no issues. That was my, I would say it's my 6-year goal, for myself.
Okay. Yeah.
So now that is on the market and that option is available for detailers, I'd like to go into the protection side of things. Okay. And probably not go after and stuff yet, but I have a lot of friends who want to support me, but they aren't full-time detailers, or they don't want to use a polisher. So I would like to have, a spray sealant, or something that they can use to maintain their vehicle after they wash it. Where we're going is to just light protection.
Nice. Well, and I think I think you're right. It's hard when you do you built a business based on this type of, you need a machine, you need a tool, an additional tool. You can't just hop in and do it by hand. So you're right. That would be a good little move to get into some of the things where folks that maybe aren't professional detailers could do that. But you have basically built, like I'll say it again, the industry standard when it comes to terms of compounds and polishes. Jace, it's literally, people always say, like, if I didn't have this product, I couldn't have gotten this job done. And it's always a last cut bottle or a last cut plus bottle. And it's always the last detail product. That's what it is. And it comes in clutch in so many ways. And it's the one thing that you definitely need to have on your shelves. Jace, dude, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out and doing this with me. And do you have anything else to say to everybody here at TRCMA?
Thank you to you guys for even supporting me from all these years, because y'all have been the day one supporters. From day one. When I didn't even know how to process a product on my website. Day one. So thank you to you guys for being there and being honest and being 100% supportive in my venture. And thank you for all the people who helped me test products, because I truly can't do it by myself. I can think I have the best product in the world, but unless I can get some validation from others in the industry that I trust, it means nothing to me. So I definitely appreciate everyone who provided feedback. My wife who supported me through all of it. It was a challenge. It was a challenge for sure. It took a lot of my time, and I appreciate her for still being next to me after it's all done. So just thank you to everybody. I know I can't do it on my own, so I'm truly grateful.
Awesome. Well, and then where can customers find you if they want to look up or learn more about The Last Detail? Obviously, they can buy products here at the Rag Company, but if they want to learn more, follow you, Instagram, social media, any of that kind of stuff, what do you got?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at TLD Products for my actual product line page. And then for the detailing that I do using the products is going to be at The Last Detail NV. So NV as in Nevada. That's where it all started. And of course, my website at tldproducts.com to get, the merch and all that type of stuff. So those are the main three places that you can find me, because I don't really, I'm a simple guy. I keep things low key.
That's all right. We like it. Well, thank you, Jace. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. And all right, guys, stay tuned for more right here on the Rag Company Media Access. See ya.
Thanks, Levi. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank
All right, man, we are super, super excited to be at TRCMA here at the Rag Company. Fortunately, Rod and I are local here in Boise, so we took the very short drive to join the team. So we're super honored to be a part of this event, and hopefully you guys are learning a lot. I mean, it's amazing products here and representatives. So Rod, what are we doing?
So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the software that we have for the detailing industry. We're going to take a look at both sides of it, which we have something we call the Command Center. And then we're going to have Jody be doing some demos live with the mobile phone in this beautiful car we have behind us here. So if you guys want to go ahead and roll that, we have a video that's going to split screen, and we're going to kind of talk about the Command Center. What the Command Center is where you actually put in all of your business's particular items, whether that's your employees, your inventory, your customers. And this is really an end-to-end solution. So we're going to start off by going into the settings area where you set up your company. And what you do there is you can actually customize your company. You can put in your logo so that when you do a printout or something, your company's logo comes up. You can actually put in your employees, whether they be administrators or managers or technicians. And everything's role-based, so you can actually give them access or take access away depending on their job role. The system has things like regions and categories for stuff. You can actually put a commission amount in here for your technicians, assign them to a vehicle or a bay in the shop if you're a four walls type of company. It also does things like track your regions if you want to send somebody out to the north region or the south region. So it allows you to really customize that, and all of this stuff you can turn on or turn off. You don't have to use something if you don't need it. So make it as complex or as simple as you need it to be. You can distinguish stuff by a dealership or a group of dealerships. It doesn't really matter. It's totally customizable. The other thing it does is it's a CRM. It allows you to track things like your advertising, your campaigns, and then put in things like whether it's a web, how did you hear about us, through the web or through email or referrals. It's really important that we be able to do that. And then you can report on all of those things in the back end of as far as where did you hear about us and what campaigns are making the most sense. You go into the settings area and you can go into general things like, do I work on boats, motorcycles, planes, RVs, or just vehicles? Everything's customizable with a button click. And then down below where we're at right here, you're going to see a ton of settings. Do you want to make the VIN number required? Do you want to require that a technician is on a work order before you close it out? Do you want to restrict the line items? All that kind of stuff. And this is all just really customizable around your business. Do you want to attach the work order as a PDF on your follow-ups, which are really important on the follow-ups and notifications? Then it also does things like track your specific parts and services. So for instance, if you're selling some of the products that you've seen at the TRCMA, we can put those products in the system. You can actually produce a purchase order right through the system and send that off to order products. Do you want a commission on these products? Things like that. You've got categories of different types of services, interior, exterior, is it an RV service? So again, it's very, very customizable to the actual work that you do. But at the same time, it tracks things from the beginning to the end, all the way to your accountant, to whether or not you turn that in on your, whether you're using QuickBooks or some other accounting process, when at the end of the years for a CRM, like let's take everybody that's done a ceramic coating for the last 4 years, and I want to send them an email. It'll do that based on what you've done and what you've saved in here. This right now, you're seeing some data being saved to a specific customer. Here's somebody that's assigned to that customer, email addresses, contact information. You can do special pricing. So you can link a special price for that client. If it's a higher end client, they do a lot of work, you can give them a discount automatically, and your techs don't have to think about that. So they can just automatically get that special price. In this video right here, he's actually assigning a special price to this client. So the next time my tech goes there, they just click a button and they don't have to think that that client gets a discount. So it tries to be very smart. It tries to be very intuitive as far as how you run your business and the way you want to do it. You can do things, front to back or back to front. Just depends on your particular job and your particular business. In this part, you can actually see all of the work orders that this particular company has. We're going to click on JL's custom showroom, and you can see a couple of items here, like how many times you sent an email or if that client owes you money. In this particular one, we've got myself assigned to a line item. I'm tracking my time, and if you want to track your time and then bill out per hour, you can do that. If you want to bill per job, you can do that. Attaching a technician right here, and then seeing how much that person owes. It links into things like Square, so you can take payments on the fly. If you have a Square account or something like that, it'll take a payment in here. This, we're actually putting in a check number and a dollar amount, and then at the end, it's going to port right into your accounting system and track that in your accounts receivable. So this is a way that we can denote how you're taking payments, account for taking that payments, again, end-to-end system so that you can keep track of everything you do in your business. And then we'll send off an email with this invoice. It's going to show you a printout or what your PDF or your email would look like going to your client. Has your logo on it, has a vehicle picture. If you want to do some documentation there, maybe you get a scratch or something you want to show them, and then send that off and accept payment. At the end of that, you can send them a text message or something like that if you wanted them to go do your Google reviews. So we try to capture everything from your marketing, your CRM, your invoicing, just keeping track of your employees and whether you sent them an email or not. And this system is fully customizable. It's easy to install. You just literally fill out a form online and we can get you set up in about 20 minutes. It covers vendors, so if you're reselling products, you can actually track all of your products in the system, put that inventory, when you use it on a vehicle, it'll decrement it. Here we've got an example of some compound we're ordering from somewhere, from a specific vendor. You can put your vendor cost in there and link it to you. It also carries all of your material data safety sheets that you need legally for your shop. You can house them within this system electronically, and you don't have to have them physically. And then we're going to send off an inventory an order to this client, to the vendor. This big red order button shows up and it tells you it's time to order that product. When you order that product, it'll put together a customized purchase order with your company's logo, the location that you have ordered that product for, and link it to your vendors. And then again, it's going to put it into your inventory so you know what you have on hand, and it's going to let you know when you get low on that inventory that it's time to order again. So here's a custom purchase order for your company going directly to Budco Distributing, and we're going to order some compound, it looks like, from them. And then it'll go directly to them. You can also save this and come back to it later if you don't know that you're ready to send that order off. And then when you get the inventory in, you're going to check this inventory in and receive it, and it's going to put it right into your specific thing. So what we're going to do here is, at the end of this quick video, which is showing you the purchase order, we're going to have Jody show you how the mobile works. But right now we're kind of wrapping this up. And again, there's two portions of this. This is what we call the command center. This is where you keep track of your schedule. This one looks pretty hectic. All the little colored dots are different employees and what they're working on, but you can change that view and narrow it down to a specific day, a specific moment in time. And here's got all the day's work for Sunday. And then when you click on those, you go right back into that work order. So it's very complex, but it can be very simplistic. It's powerful, it's full of a lot of things, but whatever you want to track, you can do that. And when we wrap this up, we're going to go live to Jody, and he's going to do some stuff. Right now, they're just finishing up this work order here, and we're adding some services, which is going to go directly to that client. So,
and it's amazing because RotaFest over the years has really become one of the most robust software programs on the market. We have customers that do dealership services, they do retail services, and a lot of your guys are mobile. So, you know, we have this car. I'm going to show you my mobile device. So I'm working on an iPhone. Rod uses an Android. So each one of these buttons allows you to do something. You can create work orders on the fly. You can review completed work orders and add additional information. You can manage customers. You can also manage your inventory in that system button. And we have a time clock. So we have two ways to track time, both day in, lunch out, lunch in, end of day, and also to track line items individually. So I'm going to actually open up in a work order, and so I get a list of the items that are assigned to me by the day. So I've actually already created this beautiful Jaguar at Arnold Motors. So I can open that up. And what that does is it allows me to do a couple things. I can open up this door and I can scan the VIN on that, or I can select from an existing VIN. So if I click on the plus button, it allows me to indicate whether I'm doing boats, vehicles, RVs, whatever. And so I've already added this VIN on there. So now if I open that VIN, I can actually add additional information. So like if you're at a dealership, you can add stock number, you can add notes about this vehicle. I can also, if I save that, I can add the services that I'm doing on that car. So I hit the part services button. If I'm selling product, I can add that. So I select the services, indicate what service I'm going to be doing on that. So I'm going to do an envy polish, and that add the services to it. And it pulls the pricing from the command center so your technician doesn't have to worry about it. If I want to, I can track the time on that service. So some of our customers, they actually guarantee service time. So if I select that clock, it actually starts a running time on that service. I can assign technicians to it as well, or I can add notes about that service. So as I'm going throughout the day, and I'm doing this service item, maybe I have a DIY customer. He comes out, man, I love the work that you've done. What can I do to maintain it? And you can actually say, look, let me show you how to wash your car, how to care for your ceramic coating post. And then I just go in there, I select products, and that gives me a selection of items that I can sell, and that becomes part of the work ticket. So once I get everything done, I can hit the time clock and stop that time, and then I can complete the work order, get a signature of acceptance, and send that off to the customer automatically. So when I go down there, grab a signature, hit finish, and then that bundles that up, and that's ready to send off to the customer. And I can set up some rules to automatically do that. Yep. So it's a really, really robust system designed to work the way you do and the types of customers that you service.
And I think the big key to that is the flexibility. So Jody could have chosen to start that by adding the vehicle, or could have chosen to start that by adding the services or by adding the products. He could take a picture of this car and send it with it, send text message, emails, all those kinds of things to the client. So really, you know, to kind of wrap up what it is, it's a lot of stuff to take in, especially on a video. It's super flexible, and it allows you so much more control over your business to do things like attach that as a permanent part of the work record. So this car's history, as it comes back to you for maintenance, you've got a history of what that vehicle looked like and what you did to it every time. So, you know, Dane, if you've got some questions, we'll kind of throw it back to you and see if you've got any other stuff coming in.
So I've got Kirby Thompson here. I'll pop his up on the screen. He says, as a new mobile detailer, when does RoadFS make economic value to my business, given the limited number of jobs or pricing structure? So what's a good fit?
It's a great question. Really, it makes a sense at any time you want to do that. Anytime you want to bring that in. The cost is very low entry point, and it's month to month, so there's no long-term contract. You can get in and get out. Like I said, it's a 20-minute thing to set it up, and you can start with the very, very basic and just get in there and say, you know, I just want to do, we've got customers that do maybe 1 or 2 cars a week.
I think one of the challenges that mobile detailers face is like, how do I manage my schedule? How do I manage the awesome work that I'm doing? And when do I do the invoicing? Sure. When invoicing becomes such a nightmare for you that you're doing your invoicing at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., that's when you need to look at a system that will enable you to improve your business structure.
Yeah, well, and if you're seasonal, so you're saying for like a seasonal guy, they could start and stop at times that are convenient for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's
that
really
way, if you
appealing.
bring technicians up and you've got 3 or 4 during the busy season, and you're down to 1 in the winter, you know, you just maintain that 1 and maintain the data in there going to 4, and then it goes every month. So if you've got a really busy time and you bring in 5 contractors, we can ramp that up for that 1 month, and then it goes right back down to 1.
So you can shift your roster around as needed.
Yeah, you ship them around, do whatever you want to do. Put somebody in a kind of on hold status and don't get charged for them at all.
Okay, that's great. And I actually had another one here from Detail Dude PL. He's not in the U.S., but he's wondering, will RoadFS be available in Europe? Because he just checked and it's not.
Yes,
it actually is available.
Is available.
I just
here,
went live
so-
last week with some partners of ours over there, and it is actually available in the UK. There's a few things we have to do differently over there, and we need to see your individual needs. But yes, it is available over there. If you're needing some special things, just get a hold of us and we can configure that.
Well, one of the cool things about RotaFest is you can actually put the services in Spanish or French or anything like that.
Any
if it
language
helps
you
you.
want.
The entire software hasn't been localized, but as far as your customer's experience and your technician's experience as a mobile detailer, we can make that the language of your choice.
Yep.
Okay, that's excellent to know. And yeah, for people who are just wondering, what's the best way to reach you guys if somebody has questions?
Yep, that's a great question. Just go to rotafs.com. And you can go out there and there's a form, that says, I need a demo, I'm ready to get started. It's on about 50 different locations, but just rotafs.com is the best way to get a hold of us.
And it's RotaFest on Instagram, Jody Cedric on Instagram, and Rod Pusey on Instagram. So
Beautiful bald dude on Instagram.
Well, and Detailed Dude clarifies, he goes, okay, but the UK isn't in the EU anymore.
I know. It is.
We know, yes.
You do have to excuse that we're from the U.S.
Yeah, it was hard to miss.
Into some other people, so.
No, that's totally fine. But yeah, no. So as far as continental Europe is concerned, yes, it's definitely a possibility. Just get in touch with you guys, and
I'm loving Detailed Dude.
Yeah, see, that's what you have to overcome with us.
Yes.
You just have to school us and make us understand what the heck is a boot and a bonnet and all that kind of stuff, and we're good to go.
Well, yeah, no. So he's definitely got an interest there, but I think your demonstration, while very quick, it answered a lot of the questions people might otherwise have. I just wonder if there's something more specific. What are some interesting niche things people may not be aware of? If they were to dive in, what's some stuff that might surprise them?
Yeah, so some of the things that surprise people, I guess, is let's say window tint. If you have specific kits for window tint and you have specific sizes and everything, you can build a kit within RotaFS. You can include your products, your labor. You can actually assign a specific tech so that when you grab your window tint kit, it reserves this much film, this bay in the shop, and this technician. So you can set it up to where literally you schedule a window tint and it ticks all the boxes.
Well, that's good. So it helps efficiency. It kind of reduces your waste. Yeah. A lot of those things that people take for granted or wind up just, I'll figure it out later. This takes a lot of that guesswork out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would say the other thing is including consumables. A lot of people don't include consumables into their pricing, and this helps you do that because it takes those and you can decrement out your products in 4-ounce or 3-ounce increments. So that's really the key to it all right there.
Okay. Well, Detailed Dude says awesome, which I think is a great way to round things out. But guys, anything left to say here at the end of the segment?
I would just say thank you to the Rag Company and this incredible team. I mean, the entire team has been phenomenal, and we're just honored to be a small part of it, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the programs.
Well, Rod and Jody, we appreciate you. So thank you for coming by and demonstrating.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that pretty much rounds out our morning block here at the Rag Company's TRCMA program. Hopefully you've enjoyed it so far. Now, of course, coming up later today, we have the afternoon block, starting off with Buff Bright, followed by Detailer's Helper. KXK Dynamics will unfortunately not be joining us, but Rupes will be getting a bigger block of time, so you can look forward to that later this afternoon. It's going to be a good time, and of course, I'd be remiss if I did not mention our huge sale going on here at the Rag Company, at theragcompany.com. Right now, you get 20% off the brands you're seeing mentioned right there. Make sure you check them out because it's a one-day code. It's a one-day sale. It's different every day. So these brands right now, if you've been interested in them, you're looking, now is the time to get in on that. And I also have to mention the charity coins. If you're not familiar with that, take a look at the website at theragcompany.com. Look for the charity coin. You'll see it there on the page. Today's is the JDRF. And of course, that's near and dear to Levi's heart. So if you want to support JDRF, 100% of the proceeds from each coin sold go directly to the JDRF for juvenile diabetes research. So that is a fantastic thing, and we highly, highly recommend you get on that. But it's very limited quantities, so they only last as long as they last. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back in a couple of hours here to give you the afternoon. But in the meantime, we'll have some lunch. See ya.